It's truly astonishing. Welcome to New Sky TV, Bloodstained. Armor leaps off the screen, garnering a staggering 601.601 million views overnight. With zero promotion, no trending topics, and the algorithm remaining silent, Guo Yuxin shattered industry prejudices with her talent, and viewers used their own traffic to cement the legendary status of the peerless female general. Bloodstained Armor swept 600 million views overnight, igniting the entire internet without any traffic support. The female general doesn't need a magic touch, she herself is a weapon. This short drama, with its genuine acting and exquisite craftsmanship, pierced the industry's blind faith in traffic. When viewers applauded Li Shuang's tenacity in filming action scenes for 14 hours straight, we saw not only good content but also a genuine counterattack against industry rules. Amidst the algorithm's silence, Guo Yuxin's sword was already at the industry's throat, becoming the most authentic counterattack. To be honest, at first I wondered if it was just the plot that was so captivating that caused its sudden explosion, but upon closer examination, it's not that simple. When this drama first aired, even the official channels didn't promote it extensively, there were almost no advertisements, and almost no one mentioned it on social media. As a result, it suddenly started gaining followers that night, and the next day it reached the top of Weibo's trending topics without any prior warning. The line, "The female general doesn't need any cheat codes. She herself is a weapon," pierced my numbness to all the fast-paced content of this era like a red-hot steel needle. Yes, while the entire industry is giving characters cheat codes and superpowers, Li Shuang stands there, her wounds her armor, the knife in her hand her strength. She doesn't need any superpowers bestowed by a system, because every breath she takes, every muscle tense, is real, burning, human power. Someone sarcastically joked, "Does even the algorithm think this show is too hardcore, too embarrassing for those assembly line products, so it just automatically blocks it and plays dead?" I just laughed. The joke sounds satisfying, but frankly, it's just a beautiful illusion. Algorithms aren't blind, they're more astute than anyone else. They just miscalculated. They accurately predicted human laziness but failed to predict human desire. When viewers are fed with inferior saccharine to the point of nausea, suddenly a bowl of rich broth simmered with bones for 3 days and 3 nights is served. The aroma is irresistible, no data model can mask it. I impulsively checked some back-end data. I didn't calculate it precisely, but roughly estimated, this explosive growth took less than 3 days. In 3 days, the number of views surged past the 100 million mark like a runaway horse. The most frightening thing wasn't the number of views, but the sharing curve. The average sharing popularity soared to over 30 million. What does this mean? It means that for every 10 people who watched, at least one couldn't resist sharing, and that sharing wasn't a task, but an impulse. Even more astonishing is that I noticed the platform's traffic limiting wasn't very effective, or rather, it couldn't limit it at all. Because so many users didn't just see it through scrolling, they found it through searching. They tremblingly typed Guo Yuxin into the search box, adding Wushang next. This wasn't just watching, it was clearly a spontaneously organized pilgrimage. What does this resemble most? It resembles a truly fine sword. It has no fancy plating, no gilded or jade inlaid scabbard, and even, due to its age, there are indelible blood rusts on the blade. Yet, this seemingly old and heavy sword, when you actually hold it and strike, reveals that those ostentatious plastic knives and swords break in an instant, because it is heavy and real, and therefore sharp. The character Li Shuang is ruthless and cool, strong yet warm-hearted. Her emotions aren't forced, they're a resilience forged through hardship. I once asked a friend who loves the show, "What scene moved you the most?" He said, "Actually, I think the moment she pulled back her armor, her expression was more moving than the fight scenes." That really resonated with me. Another detail, I remember checking the filming records. The entire fight scene involved many complex and fast-paced movements, and Li Shuang filmed for 14 hours straight. At first, I wondered, who could handle such heavy armor and such intense acting? But after watching, I realized that the director and actress's collaboration relied on unseen techniques. Every landing was more stable than for ordinary stunt actors. Her footing was almost as precise as a nail. I've always felt that short dramas pursue fast-paced, quick entertainment, but those who insist on such extreme performances like Guo Yuxin are probably few and far between. Talking about the industry chain, I can't help but have some doubts. The popularity of this type of drama largely depends on the power of fan culture. Fans spontaneously create topics and push them to the top of the platform's trending charts, thereby inducing more users to passively engage with the content. The platform's recommendation logic also favors organic traffic generated by social interaction rather than manipulated traffic, and trending topics many people find this troublesome. After all, organic growth driven by fans can sometimes make competitors feel like they're taking the blame. I've also observed that the platform's recommendation mechanism might be more truthful in its evaluation of the content itself than we imagine. Not all works can become popular through hype. If the content isn't solid enough, even spending a lot of money on advertising might not be effective. I've been discussing this with some producers. They say, what truly makes people remember isn't packaging, but solid content. This seems to fit Guo Yuxin's case perfectly. Its success is like using a cheap knife to create a high-end one. It's a bit far-fetched, but the effects is truly amazing. Speaking of which, I can't help but wonder, if every production team could quietly let their talent speak for itself like they did, wouldn't the entire industry be reshuffled? I also wonder, was its explosive popularity also partly accidental? It's like you carefully prepared an exquisite dish, but an unexpected hot pot meal made it even more popular. This is also the charm of the content industry. Uncertainty and chance make everything more interesting. We, the onlookers, are often dazzled by the actors' physical prowess in their sword fights, instinctively attributing all the credit to the blood-soaked armor-clad figure. But those in the know understand that what truly brings Li Shuang to life isn't just Guo Yuxin alone, but the entire army lurking in the shadows behind her. I specifically sought out the before and after color grading comparison images, and honestly, I was silent for a full 5 minutes after seeing them. The ungraded footage, to put it nicely, is simple. To put it bluntly, it's as ordinary as a photo taken with your phone. But once the colorist got involved, the entire world's texture changed. The shadows were suppressed, but not a dead black. It was a bottomless black, as if it could absorb all light. The skin tones were cooled, but not a deathly pale. It was a mixture of sallow and pale, the result of long battles and weathering the elements. The most brilliant touch was the bloodstains on the armor. The saturation was deliberately lowered, making them appear more realistic and glaring, as if the metallic smell of rust could penetrate the screen and assault the nostrils. This is what is meant by killing with the back of a knife. The most ruthless skills are often hidden where you can't see them. The lighting was even more chilling upon closer inspection. Look at the scene where Li Shuang sits alone in the tent. The light source shines from the side and below, casting a half-shadow on her face. That wasn't for aesthetics, it was to let you see the half-light, half-dark struggle within a female general's heart. When she took up her sword and went into battle, the lighting shifted to top and side backlighting, outlining the armor with a golden edge, making her look like a god emerging from hell. This sense of oppression wasn't conveyed through shouting, but through the angle of every beam of light, the shape of every shadow, etched inch by inch into your retina. The editing was even more remarkable. That 14-hour fight scene, on the other hand, might have been condensed into a 3-minute fast-paced montage with explosive background music, and that would have been it. But the editor of this show did something different. He gave you long takes, gave you breathing room, showed you Li Shuang's slightly trembling wrist after swinging her sword, showed you the rise and fall of her chest as she gasped for breath. Why? Because true exhaustion cannot be hidden, and true resilience is precisely reflected in these uncut details. This actually teaches all content creators a bloody lesson. Stop believing in any formula for creating a hit. The must-have in the first 3 seconds trope, the twist every 30 seconds plot twist, the must-have an explosive opening. Audiences are sick and tired of these formulas. Do you think they're stupid? Do you think they can't distinguish between mass-produced, artificially sweetened content and the slow-cooked, flavorful broth? No, they know better than anyone. Like that comment that floated by, "We're not stupid, we're just waiting for the real deal." That line brought tears to my eyes. Yes, audiences aren't lacking in aesthetic sense, they've just been surrounded by low-quality content for too long, to the point of almost forgetting what good stuff looks like. But they've been waiting for a work that truly respects their intelligence and their emotions. Once that happens, they'll vote with their fingers, shout with their shares, and elevate that work to legendary status with their viewership. This silent explosion is definitely not just a flash in the pan. It's a signal, a declaration, a resounding slap in the face to the industry. Thank you for watching the video. See you in the next video. Thank you.